Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV 1 p.m. news. You are with me, Catherine NGOVI. Sign language interpreter is Jerida Wafula. Now let's shift our focus on the news. President William Ruto has said he is ready to fight incompetent leadership, vested interest and corruption to transform the country. According to President Ruto, practices like corruption have delayed the country's transformation, whatever they are in the executive, legislature, or the judiciary. He added, Kenyans can no longer afford to wait and are eager for transformations that directly impact their lives. He made the remarks on Wednesday in Nanyuki town, Laikipia County, where he laid the foundation stone for the 200-unit Nanyuki affordable housing project that will create over 500 jobs.
Sema juzi tuwache ufisadi kule kwenye mahakama zetu. Nani ajui hapa kuna ufisadi inaendelea mahakamani? We are going to deal with vested interest that is sabotaging our progress, and we are going to eliminate corruption, whether it is in the judiciary, whether it is in the executive or in the legislature, so that we can get our country moving and our transformation underway. Hiyo ni kazi lazima tufanye. Nyinyi hamjui umaskini ni kitu gani? Mnaendesha gari kubwa, mnaenda kununua wakili, mnaenda kuhongana kotini, kusimamisha hii mradi. Na niko tayari tena namba ya pili kupigana na wafisadi na wakora na matapeli. Hawa watu wote ambao wamezoea kwenda kotini, zuia hii. Enda kotini, zuia hii. Na wanazuia kwa mambo ya ubinafsi.
We've done that before. It is not the first time, it is not the last time, and we will continue doing that. But when we are doing it, we must ensure that we don't undermine the institution.
On to the next news item. The government now says it has achieved 6.9% growth in the job creation program, particularly in the formal sector. According to government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, job opportunities have subsequently increased from 2.9 million to 3.1 million in the last 1 year. On his part, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria said the achievement is a great milestone, bearing in mind that millions of Kenyans are jobless. He called on Kenyans to give the Kenya Kwanza administration time to deliver on their promises.
The government has entered into agreements for labor exchange with several foreign entities, including the recently advertised positions for nurses to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As you are aware, we have 2,500 jobs that are up for grabs.
Despite the prevailing economic circumstances, we create our job creation in the formal job sector, expanded by 4%. In many other countries, that has contracted. But just that increase of 4%, both in domestic jobs and in overseas jobs, an area that is becoming very prominent within this administration.
Pia tumeweza kuhakikisha kwamba malipo ya uzeeni, ile hazina ama mfuko wa kitaifa wa hazina ya uzeeni ambayo inaitwa NSSF umeongezea pato lake kutoka shilingi bilioni 1.4 mpaka shilingi bilioni 6.5, na hilo liliongezeko la 360% tangu uhuru. Kwa hiyo ni jambo ambalo tunafaa kulisifia zaidi.
Starting from this month, our elderly people, our vulnerable people, for the first time, they will be receiving their monthly stipend directly on their mobile money, on M-Pesa, on Airtel money, on Telcom, directly on their phones, something that they have not seen all these years.
The review is focused on the respective ministry's performance contract, looking into ministries' cross-cutting issues and the technical performance aspects, with a view to establishing successes and challenges in the implementation of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, popularly known as BETA.
And this roadshow has even revealed to us who have actually been swimming in this water. But when sitting back and taking a step back to see what we have done, I am personally very, very satisfied in what I'm finding. Yesterday, some very interesting statistics coming out.
On to the next news item. A section of Law Society of Kenya members have urged the executive to use constitutional means to file complaints against members of the judiciary who are accused of being corrupt. The LSK members have further warned that continued attacks on the judiciary risk eroding public confidence in the institution. They faulted the executive for allegedly. They faulted the executive on the pledge to respect the independence of the judiciary.
All of us agree. Yeah, there is no doubt about it. There is corruption, and it is a cancer that has become endemic, and it must be dealt with. That one, there is no debate about it. If the president has concerns regarding corruption within the judiciary, they must be addressed through the appropriate channels. The president should adhere to the provisions of Section 31 of the Judicial Service Act, which provides for the legitimate process of removing a judge or judges who are in office.
On to the next news. A section of Ford Kenya members of parliament have continued to push for the release of the national government constituency development funds. According to the MPs, without the funds, it will be difficult for the heads of school to sustain learners in schools. The leaders also said the lack of funds will affect the implementation of the junior secondary schools infrastructural development.
When you look at last year's poor performance in the national examination, it is due to inconsistency in the distribution of bursary funds arising from delays in disbursement of CDF funds. And you can see that this year it is even worse because the students have opened without any single funds being dispersed to the schools.
We want to see the executive orders, the presidential orders, and directives being honored. My brother talked about Sangalo. When the president was in Bungoma, he directed that Magemo TTI be advertised and be allocated money. Up to now, nothing has been done.
On to the next news item. TechLead Africa, in partnership with Amagoro Primary School alumnus, have launched an initiative which aims at ensuring digital literacy becomes a literally to school-going children at Amagoro area to boost CBC implementation and expose them to global education world. At a time when most schools in Kenya have started embracing online learning as a way to the parents at the school during the commissioning of the ICT lab, which is set to benefit over 700 pupils, Dr. Sheran Amai Adoru, who was the chief guest, was made possible by TechLead Africa in collaboration with Aradu Foundation and the Amagoro.
Nowadays, learning is moving digital, where learners are able to engage with books in the absence of the teachers. So this is the project that we have been missing for quite some time. Since the project was introduced at Amagoro Primary School, we have had so many positive changes. Like, for example, learners are able to do their own revision. And this can be the computer lab where learners are able to engage for themselves. We were able to emerge as the best public school in our sub-county last year. And I believe this is because of the idea where learners are able to engage, even when they're at home, they're able to use their parents' gadgets because of the idea that they learned at school, so they're able to do their own addition. This is a noble idea where I want to encourage most of the leadership around. If we can buy an idea, we can help our community move forward. Because the only way we can compete favorably this time is by exposing to our learners of what is happening.
A few years ago, my scholarship sister, her name is Nelly, she was the CNN hero in 2022. She had started this organization.
Finally, "14 needy students from Game, Wangai sub-county will have part of their school fees paid by an ungovernmental organization named Shining Hopes for Community, SHOFCO. The Education Steering Committee, Charles Ochieng Otieno, said that each of the students will benefit from 8,000 Kenya shillings bursary to enable them meet part of their cost of their education in various secondary schools. Speaking at Wangai Trading Center in Siaya County during this disbursement of the salary, Ochieng said that the bursary was from the cash raised by members of the NGO to benefit needy students. He said that the initiative that has been going on for the last 6 months has so far benefited 34 students, majority of them day scholars.
Kwa majina naitwa Hagai Opiyo Abang. Mimi ni mjakazi wa Game. Mimi ni mwenye kikundi wa SHOFCO. Sisi kama wanachama wa SHOFCO tulikaa pamoja kama wazazi, tukachanga pesa kidogo ili tufanye mradi wa watoto wetu waende shule. Kwa saizi tulisanya shilingi 104, tumepeleka watoto 14 shuleni. Kila mtoto amefaulu kupata kitita cha shilingi 8,000 ambaye anaenda nayo shuleni. Kwa hayo nashukuru sana kikundi cha SHOFCO kwa kukuja na kuweka sisi pamoja. Asanteni sana. Njia ambayo tulitumia kuchagua wanafunzi 14, tulichukua wale watoto ambaye wako na karo kubwa sana shuleni ambao walibaki nayo. Wale ambao wakiingia shuleni watafukuzwa ili waende walete karo. Sasa ndio tulichagua ya kwanza na tunazidi kuwalipia wengine pia karo. Tumeshalipia a total of watoto 34 na bado tunazidi kuwalipia wengine. Changamoto ambayo tunapitia kama wanachama, maisha ndio imekuwa ngumu. Nilikuwa naomba kama serikali yetu pia ingekuja kama school fee iwe bure. Sasa hiyo changamoto ambayo tuko nayo sana, ngumu sana, ndio changamoto kubwa.
My name is Charles Ochieng Otieno. Currently the chairman of Wangai Education Steering Committee. This movement some months back by taking vulnerable children to school. These are the members of SHOFCO members. The parents have decided to come together. That is the function that we were in today, that we were giving the checks to the children who are selected for their school fee. The amount is 8,000 each. This is not the first time. It is now 6 months down the line as we are doing this.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Johnston Oleo Molo. I'm the chair county chairman. Tibet schools, we selected our boys and girls. Those who are soon we are going to get slots so that we can give others who are venerable and children of members to join too. So it is a program of 5 years of schools, of young men and young women to do whatever they can do and help them in their future life. We are covering Siaya County as a whole. We have 6 sub-counties. We have Game, we have Rarieda, we have Bondo, we have Alego Usonga, we have Ugunja, and we have Ugenya. So SHOFCO is in those sub-counties, all of those sub-counties in Siaya.
Okay, kwa majina ni Josephine Omogo. narudishia shukrani kwa committee ya Wagai Steering Committee kwa kutuletea hii organization ya elimu. Wamesaidia watoto wetu sana. Kwanza sasa hii mtoto wangu anaenda amepata check ya 8,000. Nashukuru sana.
Welcome, and let's shift our focus to the sports news. Liverpool came back from a goal down to beat Fulham at Anfield in the first leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final tie. Fulham had taken the lead in the first half, with Willian showed great control inside the box area and scored to put them ahead. Liverpool, however, got back in the game first through Jones, who equalized in the 68th minute, then substitute Cody, then scored second 3 minutes later. The two sides will meet again in the second leg at Caravan Cottage on Wednesday, 24th January. Thank you so much for watching Science TV News at 1 p.m. My name is Catherine NGOVI. My sign language interpreter, Jedida Wafula. Have a good afternoon.